Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. The home learning task this week is to do a perspective drawing. I've just had my phone taped on this ruler up here so that I can record myself drawing. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to be doing a perspective drawing, so you can draw some cubes in two-point perspective like this, or maybe like this example here. And I hope you enjoy the task. Remember to use a sharp pencil for this. And use a ruler or whatever you've got that's straight if you don't have a ruler at home. Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to do some perspective drawing. And this is two-point perspective. So the first thing we need to do is using a ruler or something with a straight edge, we draw our horizon, horizontal across a page. And then we put a vanishing point at either end. So vanishing point 1. And vanishing point 2. So they both have to be on that horizon line, okay? They can't be over here. They have to be on the line. And put those towards either end of that horizon. Then we're going to start off by just drawing a simple cube. So if you draw a line straight down the centre, a centre line, draw this lightly to start with, and make sure you're using pencil for this as well. So that's going to be the corner of our cube. I'm going to draw in, so that's the line that the cube's going to be on. I'm going to draw the line a little bit darker where I want my cube to be. Okay, so that's where I'm going to have my cube. Then I need to go from either end of that line back to either vanishing point, both sides. So they've got to go precisely from this point to this vanishing point here, okay? So again, you can do these lightly to start with. Just draw that all the way back there. And then the top, back to the vanishing point, like that. And then the same the other side. Okay, so they do need to be straight lines, those. You need to be accurate with this. If you mess it up, you can always have another go. Now I'm going to draw my vertical lines in for the other corners of the box, of the cube. So they need to be parallel with this centre line, to be perfectly upright. That's that side. I can actually go over these a bit darker now to fill in that side of the cube. Side, and then I'll do the same the other side. Remember, this has to be parallel with that centre line. I'll go over these darker as well. There we go. Now all the cube is missing is the top edge here. So I need to use the vanishing points again. So from here, I'm going to go to the centre line using vanishing point 1. And then I'm just going to join up the last edge. There we go. So there's my cube. I can at this stage, if I want to, rub out the centre line and the guidelines that I'd drawn in, just leave the cube on its own. Like that. So that looks nice and neat on its own there. And we use the thick and thin lines technique to make it stand out. So lines on the edge, we draw thicker. So we can go over these again, all the way around the outside, just to make it stand out. It's the common technique. Just make it pop. It's the dodgy ruler I'm using. I think it's got lumps taken out of it. I'm doing it in the classroom, so I think this has been used by the art groups. can use a felt tip pen instead of just going over it again for this thick and thin lines. So I'd leave the internal lines thin and then go around the outside thicker. Okay, so that's a basic 2-point perspective cube. And I've used thick and thin lines for that. Okay, if I wanted to, I could also draw another cube above it, below it, or to the side. If I wanted one from a different perspective, so this one I'm looking at it from the corner, maybe I could have one over here. I would draw my centre line of the cube over here. You can try this out as well. Make sure it's perfectly vertical, so it's perpendicular with the horizon. That should be 90 degrees there. Right, if I was going to draw a cube there, I'd start the same as I did before with this line here down the middle. So I'll draw a smaller cube here. And then I'd need to draw these vertical lines here and here. So, oh no, sorry, we need to go back to the vanishing points first before we do that. So I go back to the vanishing point from that corner to number 2. So I could go all the way, just to show that it joins up. And that one. The other side goes back to vanishing point 1. So you see this is much of a steeper angle than this one. Whereas the first one I did, because it was in the centre of the page, it was the same angle both sides. But this one's very different side to side. See, that's a really steep angle there. Now I need to put those vertical sides in. So I'm going to have this one here. I'll have this one here. And I can go over these darker. Okay, then I need to come from here to vanishing point 1. And from here to vanishing point 2. Yeah. There we go. So then I can rub out my guidelines, centre line, other lines. And I've drawn a second cube at a different angle. You're looking at it from the same perspective, but it's at a different angle because it's off to the side instead of straight in front. So it does look different. Again, I could go over that around the edge with the thick lines to make it pop, make it stand out. Okay, so I want you to have a go at drawing some different cubes, all in different positions on the page. I've got one in the centre, one to the side. Maybe I could do one underneath this one, maybe one above it. I'll try one slightly below it and slightly to the side. So I'll draw my centre line here, and I'll have it a smaller cube there. Okay, so that's my side of my cube. I'm going to go back to the vanishing point 2 for the right side. Vanishing point 1 for the left side. Okay, now I need to put the sides in. So I'll have it coming to there. Draw that side in. And this one's going to go underneath this cube, so I don't need to go any further than that cube. I can actually rub out that line there. And I'll end it here. And then from this corner, I need to go over to vanishing point 1 to finish it off. Okay, so I've got that cube slightly under this one. out the guidelines. You don't need to rub them out, you can leave them if you prefer to leave them. This technique of perspective drawing is commonly used by designers and architects. There we go. So I could again go around the outside just to try and darken up the outside to really make it stand out. You can use a felt tip pen for this. My pencil is actually starting to get a bit blunt now, so it's okay for going around thick. I'll do this one as well. Just around the outside edges, don't need to do the internal lines thick. So there you have it. I've got 3 cubes in the space, all from the same perspective. Okay, I want you to have a go at drawing a few different cubes. Start with one in the centre because that's easy, and then try some off to the side. You can try some below or above it. You can even have a go at drawing some above the horizon, so you'd be able to see the bottom edge of the cube instead of the top and the 2 sides. You'd see the bottom edge and the 2 sides. So you can have a go at that. Once you've finished drawing your cubes and you've added the thick lines around the outsides of them, you can then render them to help show the 3 dimensions. So I've used 3 different shades here, the darker, the medium and the lighter. So this one is basically if the light was coming from this sort of angle, this would be the lightest, this would be the darkest, and this would sort of be in between. So this can really help to give your drawing depth. You can also use different shades as well. This one here could have a bit of extra shade under here where it's underneath another cube. There could be sort of a shadow there as well to help make it look like a proper 3D object. And this could probably be a bit darker here as well, since that's underneath. So have a go at that. Try and get your colour really flat so it looks like the same shade over the whole face of the cube. Like my ones, if you look at them, the colour's pretty smooth, isn't it? You can do that by just going over and over like this. Just keep going over smoothly, the same pressure all the time. Try and make it look nice and equal across the whole face. So once you've finished, take a photo of your work and send it to my email. I really look forward to seeing what you've done, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, see you later.